In no particular order, here are a couple safety tips that you need to know about your Instant Pot. First of all, do not ever lift your Instant Pot by this handle on the lid. This is not meant to lift the entire appliance. It's only meant to take the lid on and off. So do not lift up the Instant Pot by the handle while it's cooking, or even if it's not. The lid could easily slip off and you could get really hurt. Next, this actually comes written on the Instant Pot lid, but do not touch the top of the Instant Pot lid while it's cooking or even after it's done cooking, because this part of the Instant Pot gets extremely hot. The plastic handle right here does not get very hot, but the edges all around get extremely warm. So please be careful and especially don't touch these little metal parts on the lid. Next, don't do anything to block the sealing knob or the little pin on the lid. Both of my lids are a little bit different, but the concept is still the same. Do not block this while you're pressure cooking or even when you're trying to release the pressure. A lot of times you might hear or get some advice to cover the top of your Instant Pot like this with a cloth before or after you release the steam, so then the steam just goes into the towel. However, this will void the manufacturer's warranty. It can be a real safety hazard because stuff can get sucked into that pin. It can block whatever's trying to get out. So please don't cover the knob or the sealing pin on your Instant Pot lid. Next, do not manipulate the knob or the pin while your Instant Pot is cooking. So that means that this little knob up here, it will not come all the way flush with the lid until it is pressurized all the way, and it will not come down until all the pressure has released from the lid. A lot of times I see people kind of jiggling the lid or trying to like use a spoon or something to touch this part to try and get it to collapse faster. But the thing is, even if this goes down faster because you manually manipulated it, it doesn't mean that all of the steam has released from the Instant Pot. This can make it so the lid will actually come off, but there's still going to be way too much rolling boil going on in here, so it might kind of like puff out. I don't want to say explode, but it's definitely too steamy and too violent of a boil in here to open the lid. So that is why it's important to make sure all the pressure goes down before you open the lid. Something else that will help with that is do not ever overfill your Instant Pot past the max line. There is a max line on the inside of the Instant Pot liner, and you should never fill it more than that with liquid. Now, on occasion, I filled it over the top with like, you know, a couple extra potatoes or something that goes above the max line, but the liquid should never exceed the max line. That's because you need enough space in the liner for the Instant Pot to get to a rolling boil and be able to create enough space for the steam to be able to pressure cook inside the pressure cooker. So make sure you do not overfill, otherwise the food might boil over in the Instant Pot and that could turn into a really unsafe situation and ruin dinner. Next, do not move your Instant Pot while there is something pressure cooking inside. I know it can be tempting sometimes to move your Instant Pot to like a different spot in the kitchen or something because it's not in the right place. However, do everything you can not to move it while it's pressure cooking, because if you do so, it can disturb the lid, it can disturb the seal, and so the seal might break and you might end up with a mess. It's just not very safe. On the same hand, please do not transport your pressure cooker pressurized in a moving vehicle or a car. You can't like take this on the go and like pressure cook in the back of your car. Like, I don't know, I've heard some people like slow cook in the back of their car. Please don't do that with an Instant Pot unless you are stationary, parked, and in a very safe environment where you can kind of make sure everything is okay. Next, do not put anything directly inside of the Instant Pot right here. Everything gets cooked in here inside the Instant Pot liner. This is like a pot that goes into the appliance. You can't just throw food in here and cook it. If you do, you will end up with some burned food. You might end up with a broken appliance. So please do not add any liquids or foods directly into the Instant Pot. I know that sounds like a given, but if it didn't happen every single day, then I wouldn't be telling you. Along with that, do not submerge the entire Instant Pot in water or do not put it in your dishwasher. The only parts that are dishwasher safe are the liner, the sealing ring right here, and on occasion, some people do put their lids in the dishwasher. I don't personally recommend it, but this and this are the only things that you should put in the dishwasher if you want to, but do not put the full appliance, and I recommend not putting the lid in the dishwasher as well. I kind of touched on this earlier, but next, do not open the lid until the pin has dropped completely on its own after pressure cooking. A lot of times I know that it can be tempting to kind of jiggle the lid like this, try and get that knob to drop down on its own. But I will tell you from personal experience that this is very unsafe, especially if you have a lot of liquid in your Instant Pot. If you jiggle the pin down and take the lid off before it has come to a full depressurized state, then it will boil over and it can be really dangerous. So please don't do that. Next, do not put the Instant Pot lid on the Instant Pot while the Instant Pot is on Sauté mode. Now, this is a built-in safety feature. If you put on the lid when it's on Sauté, it will say lid and it will stop the Sauté feature and it will turn it off. The reason for this is if you leave food sautéing in the Instant Pot with the lid on and you forget about it on accident, that food's just cooking, and there's probably not going to be a lot of liquid in there. And if it's not pressure cooking, it can burn, and we don't want to cause anything after that to happen. So please do not put the lid on your Instant Pot while it is on Sauté mode. If you want to put a lid on there, you can use like a glass lid from a pot that you already have, or sometimes I'll just kind of set the lid kind of vented on top like this, but only if you're very confident that you're standing right there, making sure that nothing happens and that you're paying very close attention. If you like these tips, you can find many more in both of my cookbooks. These are both on my website, and we have exciting news. We just launched the ebook version of the book, so you can go and grab a copy if you're an international reader, because unfortunately the shipping on an international book costs more than the book itself. So we are not selling Enjoy internationally right now in a hardcover format, but we are doing it digitally. You can get that on my website, trytestedandtrue.com. And you can also pick up my first Instant Pot book on Amazon or wherever books are sold. This one is sold internationally, so I hope you enjoy both of these. I'm actually running a sale on all books right now, so grab them on my website, trytestedandtrue.com, and enjoy. Next, this one is very important. Make sure you keep your face, your head, your hands, your body, anything away from the Instant Pot lid, sealing pin, and sealing knob while it is pressure cooking, while it is releasing the pressure, because this is extremely hot. You don't want to accidentally burn yourself or let anyone else or anything else get burned, because anything that comes out of here will be extremely hot. So please use caution over this lid. Do not bump it. Do not try and accidentally, I don't know, just don't put your hands or your face over it when you're trying to like look at it. That would be very unsafe. Next is after you're done pressure cooking, just be really careful with the lid and make sure to put it on the base of the Instant Pot just like this. Your lid has these little notches right here that you can place on the base on either side of your Instant Pot. The reason for this is if you put a hot Instant Pot lid on your counter or any cooking surface or anywhere else, it could damage your counters, and someone who doesn't know like that it's hot could touch the lid, and it is extremely hot after pressure cooking. So please make sure to keep your lid in a safe area close to the Instant Pot, like on the base, so then you can kind of just be aware of it and not get hurt. Next, this is a really good tip of mine that I like to share with everyone, is make sure that you release the steam on your Instant Pot in short bursts, especially if you have a lot of liquid in your pot, like you have a soup going on. It's gonna take a long time to depressurize naturally. And so if you want to hurry that up and use a quick release, if you just turn your sealing knob from venting or from sealing to venting immediately, it is going to spurt liquid out of the Instant Pot lid, like 100% of the time it will. Sometimes it will be a lot, sometimes it will be a little bit, but especially if you have a lot of liquid in your pot and you just let that go from sealing to venting, it will spurt out for sure. So I like to do this by turning the sealing knob from the sealing to the venting position and just kind of doing that a couple times to let the majority of the steam out. It's kind of like if you had a soda bottle and you shook it up really, really hard. You don't want to just unscrew the cap because soda will go everywhere. So you just kind of want to do it in small little bursts and to release the steam and the pressure inside in short bursts first before you let it go. You can really just tell like how much pressure is in there as soon as you start doing that, so then you can do it safely. Next, do not ever fill your Instant Pot liner with oil. This is not a pressure fryer, so don't ever put in so much oil in here that you think that you're going to get a restaurant fried chicken result. That's not going to happen. That would be a huge, huge safety risk. I had a friend that did this, so I know that it's happened to at least one person, but but oil does not boil. So if you put oil in your Instant Pot and you wait for it to come to a boil, it never will. It's just going to get extremely hot and it will be extremely dangerous. So please do not use the Instant Pot to fry. Do not fill it with oil to use as a mechanism for frying. That is not the right appliance, and that would be very dangerous. Next, make sure that you have all the components to your Instant Pot lid in there correctly and it's all ready to go before you start pressure cooking. Now that means that you need to have the sealing ring inside of your Instant Pot lid, and that just ensures that there's actually going to be a seal to make sure that it comes to pressure. If there's no sealing ring, the Instant Pot will just get hot, 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 hot. The pressure will just release, the water will evaporate, and you will end up with burned food. So definitely make sure that the sealing ring is snug in there, that there's no rips or tears in the sealing ring, and that it's very secure all the way in there. Additionally, just make sure that your sealing knob is attached in there correctly, that it's very secure, and that you have all the other parts to your lid, like these little parts on the outside of the sealing pin and the sealing knob. In the same breath, just make sure that all of your sealing rings in your Instant Pots are replaced every couple of years, and that you make sure that they are in good shape, that there's no tears, rips, like I mentioned earlier, because that is the most important thing to making sure that this comes up to pressure. Next, make sure that you are using the correct amount of liquid whenever you are pressure cooking. Make sure you read the instructions on any recipe that you use, and that will prevent any burning or any issues with the Instant Pot not coming to pressure. Next, this is something that you should do every so often, is to just check on your lid, the Instant Pot lid. Look inside of that little spot right there where the sealing pin is, and you can push it from the other side. Make sure that there's nothing in that sealing pin part that is obstructing that little part. You wanna make sure there's no food that's in here. Sometimes when you're releasing the pressure, there can be liquid and food particles that come out of here. So just make sure that nothing is blocked, so then everything pressurizes and depressurizes the way it's supposed to. Next, make sure that you are being careful when you are touching the liner during and after pressure cooking. Usually this little lip on the Instant Pot liner doesn't get too terribly hot, so you can take it out pretty quickly after it's done cooking, but it does get very hot. So just be really careful and make sure that you kind of like use oven mitts or something else so you don't burn yourself when you're handling the Instant Pot liner. This one is kind of related to the safety tip I gave about not putting your face directly over the Instant Pot lid, is do not put your face directly over the liner while you are cooking or anything. I mean, that's pretty common sense, but if I didn't see issues with this, I would not be putting it in this video. This is a cooking surface in there. It's hot. It's just like having a pot on the stove. You would never put your face directly above a pot on the stove, so please don't do that over an Instant Pot. It's just as hot, if not hotter. So I really want everyone to stay safe. Do not put your face over the Instant Pot while it's cooking. Next, this is more of a food safety tip. Do not leave food in the Instant Pot all day for it to cook later on. This is not a slow cooker, so I know sometimes a lot of people put food in a slow cooker at the beginning of the day, let it cook all day, and then come home to have a slow cooker roast done. Now there is a timer setting on your Instant Pot, so it will delay cook, but do not leave food in the Instant Pot all day long. Set it to delay cook for 8 hours later, because the food in your Instant Pot will most likely not be safe to eat. Next, do not use these plastic slow cooker liners in your Instant Pot. You cannot use these in your Instant Pot safely. They are probably going to break the seal of your Instant Pot, and they are not made for that. So do not use these liners in the Instant Pot. There are no other type of liners like this for the Instant Pot for easy cleanup, I'm sorry, but let's just keep these for the slow cooker. Next, make sure you are properly deglazing food in the Instant Pot after using the Sauté function before pressure cooking. Doing so will help prevent burns, burned food, and any other incidents with your Instant Pot. So just make sure that you are deglazing with some liquid, scraping up all that fond off the bottom of your pot to make sure that there's no burning. Okay, this is a good last one to end on because it's literally right behind me. But unless you are like 100,000% confident, do not put your Instant Pot on your stovetop. I usually do this with like a cutting board underneath it, or I use it because I like the hood vent over my Instant Pot. However, if you have a glass cooktop, I have seen so many destroyed Instant Pots where the bottom of the Instant Pot gets completely burned, melted, and destroyed because people either put an Instant Pot on a stovetop that was still hot, or they accidentally turn a burner on with the Instant Pot on the stovetop. So as you can see, mine's on there right now, but do not put it on your stovetop unless for sure you know that you're not going to destroy and melt your Instant Pot. Thanks so much for watching these tips. If you like it, make sure that you check out this video or this playlist because it has an entire Instant Pot 101 of everything you need to know to have confidence and joy using your Instant Pot. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. Bye.